Hey everyone, this is PB with a serious video. I was thinking about doing this for a while, and I finally decided that I want to tackle this subject for anyone who cares to listen. I'm going to list 3 major things that you should do after graduating high school in order to become financially independent. What is financial independence? Simply put, it's being debt-free and being able to live off of money that you generate from savings, stocks, assets, etc. Financial freedom is not working for anybody else but yourself. A vast majority of people are comfortable with being broke their entire lives, but if you don't want that for yourself, then you've come to the right place. If you've already graduated high school, it's never too late to start taking this advice and start building wealth. Now here it is, the 3 things you should do after graduating high school. First off is getting a credit card. Yes, you need a credit card. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You need to build credit fast, but don't worry, it's really easy to do. Put expenses that you can afford on a credit card. What I'm saying here is if you're paying a bill, have that bill go onto your credit card if you can. If you're out buying groceries that you would normally buy with a debit card or cash, put it on your credit card and pay it off either immediately. Most people wait till the very end of the month to pay it off, or whenever it's due, I should say, whenever it's due. So whatever you are already buying for yourself, for your everyday living expenses, put it on a credit card. This will build your credit fast. Now, what you do not want to do is put anything that you cannot afford on a credit card. So if you do not have the money for it, do not use a credit card to buy it just so you can get something early. This is one of the worst things that you could do, hands down. Don't ever use the money on a credit card's line unless it's an emergency, basically. If you use this right, if you do what I'm saying here, you're going to have a credit score of around 780 in about 3 years' time, easily. If you don't screw it up, if you don't miss any payments, you're going to have a pretty pristine credit card score by the time you're like 21. You're going to have a high credit score early on in life. Why do you need a credit card? Well, you could buy a house with a credit card, you could buy a car, you could get a business loan. These are all really, really good things to be able to do. Also, in case of an emergency, you have that option too. But what we're talking about here is building wealth, and buying a house is something that I want to talk about in another video if this one does well. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing, if you want to hear more. Anyway, learning how to use a credit card is an invaluable lesson. It teaches you early on how to manage your money and how to live with below your means or within your means, but not overspending or going into debt. So if you use this right, you're gonna have a solid foundation of how to manage your money. The last reason why you should get a credit card is for rewards programs. This is free money, guys. So it is free money, but you usually have to sign up for a credit card to get a bonus. They'll make you offers if your credit's good enough. So you're probably not going to have that going out of high school. You are going to have to get a credit card that's an intro level. You can find these anywhere. I went with Discover. Check out Discover. They have good intro cards for students and general cards for people who don't have any credit at all. Go sign up for one of those. But once you build your credit, you're going to have card offers that are going to give you money back for what you're already spending. So if you go to the grocery store and you use your credit card and you get 2% back, every time you go to the grocery store, you're making money. Or every time you go to the gas station, or anytime you want to buy something that you want to buy and you can afford, you'll get cash back, and that adds up. You're gonna see, you're spending on your credit card, and at the end of the month, you're gonna have like an extra $40 in your account ready to be either reinvested or spent, or however you want to deal with that. I mean, it's free money. There's no reason not to use a credit card, guys. Get one, do it now. It's not hard, it's not scary. Just use your brain. Don't spend what you can't afford. The next big thing that you should do after graduating high school is to set aside money to invest for every paycheck or every time you get money. Doesn't matter how much you make. If you make $100, invest 10 of that into the stock market, or we'll talk about this more upcoming. So how do you do this? Well, you open a brokerage account on a site like Fidelity. I go with Fidelity, which is what I've been using my entire life. There's other platforms, but fidelity.com is a great platform. It's trustworthy, and you could buy stocks on it. You could do a lot of stuff. You can get a 401k, all kinds of different stuff. But we're talking about investing stocks right now, and I want to go into that more. So every time you get paid, invest it. Why? It helps you frame the idea that money begins working for you way before most people realize this, if ever. Doesn't it take years? Well, yes, but you will get to watch it grow in real time and have a sense of your goals and what you can accomplish in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And trust me, whenever you put money into a stock market account, you will watch it grow in real time, and you will see that, hey, my money is working for me. Even if it is $10, even if it is just making you pennies right now, the more you invest, the more you're going to get paid. What do I invest in, PB? Here's two really, really good starting options. One option I suggest are blue chip stocks. These are stocks that pay you dividends just for holding the stock. So it teaches you how to have patience. You'll see your rewards coming in as dividends just by, buying and holding a specific stock. Now, what is a blue chip stock? Generally, these are the market leading stocks. These are like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Walmart. Basically, you need to do some research on this. There's a lot of blue chip stocks to invest in, but it's really hard to go wrong with them in the long term. You want to invest in those guys. A blue chip stock definitely pays dividends. They're pretty high. They're higher yield. Do some research. It won't hurt you. Just type in blue chip stocks on Google. Find a list of them. Find a cheaper one that you want to go with. Maybe they're usually more expensive. Price tag of like $200 per stock. Well, you might be asking yourself, well, PB, why spend $200 on one blue chip stock when I can get a billion Dogecoin for $50? That's a great question, and if you're interested, I can cover this in another video, but trust me, you want to invest in the stock market. Another option is total market index funds. These stock index funds cover the entire market, and the market generally trends up over a long period of time. I'll throw a chart up here. This is the stock market since the 80s. I mean, look, it's just going up. So it's really hard to lose at the stock market if you play a smart strategy. And one of the smartest strategies is hands off. Invest in one of these things and don't look at the price. You can just invest and forget it. Don't look at the price, or you could watch your money grow. Just have some discipline and don't sell the stock, especially when you're making dividends on it. Now, whenever you get dividends from a stock, I would suggest just reinvesting it into that same stock or something else. You don't have to be an expert stock trader to make lots of money over time. The third thing to do is reframe in your mind what wealth is. And if you made it this far, congrats, you're taking this seriously. So listen carefully, because this part is very important and will be required of you to learn in order to start building wealth. Wealth is not the same thing as materialism. Materialism is buying expensive crap, and generally how people stay broke. They get their paycheck, they pay off their bills, they pay off taxes, but they don't pay themselves. They go out and buy something expensive and something that they don't need and something that could have been better spent in investing. So within a year of that time, they could have bought the same thing that they wanted to buy with either like credit card rewards money or stock dividends or something like that. So the cycle repeats itself like that. People get paid, they don't pay themselves first. People have hobbies, but what you have to realize is you could have a lot more in the future if you invest earlier on. Flashy people usually go into debt to stay flashy because they have to upkeep their image. And if they live lavishly, that is an expensive lifestyle that is living above somebody's means. So if you see somebody, wearing Supreme clothes or whatever kind of expensive, way overpriced expensive clothes, you know that they either don't have money or they are just basically coasting off of their parents' money or something like that. So don't believe that. Don't get into that mindset. Don't be flashy. It's stupid. It's cringy. People think they're cool when they're not cool. And anybody who knows the tenets of financial freedom can sniff them out so fast. And finally, this one's really important. Chasing a career, in my opinion, is pointless and will keep you in the rat race. There's a long discussion I can go on this alone, but you were taught from a very early age in school how to be a good employee, not a good employer. You were taught to spend at or above your means. Generally, when people get higher paying jobs, they typically spend way more and are no closer to being financially independent. Your job should only be a means to an end to financial freedom. You can reach financial independence with a job at McDonald's or a well-paying career. The only difference is how fast you will get it done. This isn't to say that you shouldn't leverage your skills to get higher paying work, but what I'm saying is, if you follow these ideas, these simple principles of saving and investing early on, you will be in a much better place financially than most people in America. Most people don't think like this. All right, guys. Well, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like the video. Let me know if you want more advice. I've got a lot of it. And I will see you next time. Peace out, guys.